should already be considering changes in the curriculum or changes in leadership, because according to these statements, we are indeed eligible for such action. More action needs to be taken on an academic standpoint than an athletic one. Let us all remember, we are a school district, not a sports franchise. We all need to work together from an academic standpoint and let the athletics be, because there are greater problems on the horizon. I would like to thank all of you for your time. And I have this quote from legendary football coach Vince Lombardi to leave you with. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether win or lose, we will apply the best of ourselves to the task at hand. I thank you again, and God bless. I heard from many of my, it was in like around the school.
And Mr. Bobick, Mr. Bobick, first of all, it appears that you don't have all the information with some of the inaccurately.
You're back here.
There are seats up front for those who can't hear.
Oh, okay. In listening to you, you absolutely do not have.
I'm sorry, but that's not any better.
Put them both there.
Seats up here in front, about 8 and
In listening to you, Ben, it's obvious that you don't have all the information as far as how the school board meetings are handled. First of all, there's 2 meetings a month that are public meetings. The person gets on the agenda and they say exactly what they want to speak of. I don't know where you got the information, but I can provide to you what was read at the time he spoke, and there was no mention, at least I didn't hear it, you can correct me if I'm wrong, board, we didn't speak of opening jobs to bring volunteers in.
I understand that, but I understand that.
Excuse me, no, excuse me. I listened to you and I didn't say a word.
I'm sorry.
So I'm going to tell you, number one, that's wrong. It is not that. And this board has the opportunity at any time to open any coaching position that they wish. That is a board policy. That is an option. And part of the agenda, unfortunately, Ben, you say we shouldn't be worrying about athletics. Yes, it is part of our agenda every single month. We have co-curricular. And let me tell you, at Mrs. Ballas' education meeting, I'm going to tell you, you, all your friends, all your athletes, and every parent and everybody in this town was invited. It was public, it was properly advertised. 3 board members, 2 principals, and the director and the superintendent.
Sorry, I have.
So you say that there's more important things. Where was everybody? Where were you then? Are you concerned with the school you're graduating from as far as the education and where we're going? I'm not yelling. You guys have to use a microphone.
Let her talk. Let her talk.
I'm not yelling. I'm trying to make sure that everybody that chooses to stand in the back can hear me.
It's her turn to talk. Let her talk.
So please, I feel like you're grandstanding. So volunteers, that's not a consideration, nor was it applied.
I understand that.
So how many of your athletes that you mentioned actually got a scholarship from their coach? Or helped, or assistance in getting a scholarship from their particular coach in the sports that they play?
Do you understand how many people, the percentage,
I absolutely.
for students that get a Division I scholarship is 4%? There's a 4% chance.
How many attempts were made then? That's a comment. So basically,
there's a 4% chance that you're going to go on and play college.
My daughter's coach helped her.
So, excuse me.
You're asking.
Are you on the agenda now?
No,
People spoke last week that weren't on the agenda, and we allowed them after we allowed a citizen to speak for 30 minutes and then entertain a conversation.
I mean, Sue, can you address this? Because obviously, no one's getting up.
I'd like to address you, Ben. I got the impression that Mr. Cannon is married to Beth Cannon, that he was here of his own accord.
I understand.
He did leave a contact information for you to discuss anything that anyone had to comment on. But he was here, much as you are, to present his own individual thoughts.
Hey, which one?
The board did not participate in any of this.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that.
But the board entertained
I'm just saying.
Pardon me?
But the board entertained it.
Anyone gets to speak at a meeting.
But you guys engaged in a conversation about it. There was a long conversation, and the whole conversation centered around our athletic program and how we should open up positions, how our coaches don't do a good job. It lasted for 35 minutes, and I have most of it recorded, so maybe we should play it.
Yeah, give us a runback. I mean, because everyone doesn't come every.
Thank you for letting us know
Let us know.
that
I mean,
you were
I'm
recording.
serious.
You only recorded one part of that meeting. That's
No, I only
Excuse
recorded the
me,
part
wait a
where we
second.
asked if our athletes could have their
One
PSSAs
second.
read to them.
Hey.
Not all of the
No,
struggling
that's not.
students.
That
Give
was,
us. Hey,
no, that was asked incorrectly, and Diana Borges was supposed to address that.
I apologize. Do you address that now? I apologize. I had that on my list, and I actually had the wrong paper. There was a question last week about what type of testing accommodations students could have, and the question was a little, maybe I misunderstood it, but what we have is there are accommodations that are approved by the Pennsylvania Department of Education for any child with a disability if they have an IEP or if they have a Section 504 agreement, and that would be very specific to the disability and what pieces of an assessment can be accommodated, such as if you have a reading disability, they maybe have certain pieces read to it, or small group. They could have, if you have a visual issue, you could have where someone will transfer your notes instead of on the bubble sheet, someone does it for you. There's things like that. So depending on what the student's disability is, accommodations may be made. They're listed right in an IEP or can be put into a 504 agreement. They also have to follow the confidentiality as well as the setup of the people who design the test. And those decisions are made individually. So they would have to, that's what the district follows for only students that would be eligible and in need of those type of accommodations, and they're determined, as I said, specifically at a child's either service plan or IEP.
Is that being done at Still Valley like other districts in our area?
Absolutely. Actually, outlined in the IEP, the accommodations that are possible for PSSAs are listed. And the IEP team, which is made up of the school administrator, myself, the parent, the teachers, the special ed teacher, discuss what the child needs as far as accommodations and list those specifically in the IEP. In addition, those accommodations must be ones that they